going on the compute side. We're seeing more subnets come online, and yeah, Kyle's been doing a great job of helping people test and debug all of the router and smart contract edge cases. So I don't know if everybody saw, but just the other day, Lumerin shipped a big update to the code, and it got merged into the Morpheus Lumerin repo on GitHub. So that is now live. But yeah, so that's sort of been the big thing ever since Compute went live. I see people tweeting about getting onto mainnet and starting to earn rewards. I've been tracking it, and there's daily payouts going to 3, 4 groups now as they run sessions. So yeah, it's coming together. But Luke, you want to give us your update, man?
Yeah, sure. I've actually kind of took a last week off a bit. I had a wonderful time with family in Vegas Island for Thanksgiving. So I'm kind of getting up to speed. Actually spent a good amount today going through the documentation, kind of noting the differences between the Lumerin documentation and the Morpheus documentation as far as like the best pathway to getting set up with your own local nodes for compute providing. And I'm also thinking through kind of clarifying for most people that there is a distinction, and I want to make that clear on this call as well. There is a distinction between, hey, I've got a laptop and I want to earn some tokens. Can I host a model? I mean, in theory, yes, but this is also a very professional blockchain project that actually is looking to serve many millions of users with professional blockchain compute access to AI. And so mostly it's going to be those who are very serious with server farms and things of that nature. And I just want to make that clear. Now, does that mean you can't participate as just a single person? No, it doesn't. But I just want to set expectations properly. And so the documentation is walks you through how to kind of run a local version of Llama, for example. But it's really it's really primarily for those who are very serious about running an AI farm, essentially, and want to provide very professional services to professional companies that need reliable service, for example. So yeah, I'm looking into that. I'm working on getting together some videos. Kyle put together a video that he did. I think he's going to potentially annotate it himself or have me do it, or and I want to maybe extend that and do one of my own, just to kind of help people explain the pieces to it. As part of that process, I noticed the testnet Morpheus faucet is down. And so I think, Anton, you're the one to kind of distribute tokens, is what I was told. So I might be requesting some of those from you. And yeah, other than that, just trying to figure out how to make this make sense. If you go through the documentation, it's a lot, and I think it'd be a little overwhelming for some people. So my hope is to try to clarify that with some videos, some walkthroughs, some step-by-steps, so people can just walk through it and pause the video and double check and things like that. But that's mainly what I've been up to.
Awesome. No, I appreciate you doing that, Luke. I know that's hugely valuable to everybody. Very cool. Hey, Bo, you want to jump in and go next?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Continuing to talk to a bunch of groups with various potential integrations. One interesting one was Gaiman, who's based out of Switzerland. So they are a project that basically they created a protocol where if you're on a gaming PC while you're gaming, you can essentially any capacity, like compute capacity that you're not using while you're gaming is being routed to them, which they're then pooling and using for different money making opportunities and then paying back their end providers. They have something like 90,000 users currently, and they're interested in potentially becoming compute providers for Morpheus, which I thought was really cool. So I'm connecting them with Kyle and talking over that. Had a call with Redstone, which is an Oracle protocol similar to like a Chainlink, continuing to work on different solutions for price data feeds, which will ultimately help us with DeFi integrations as we look to try to get lending markets established. Expecting an update from Freedom Factory and the ETH OS team regarding the Ethereum phone here pretty soon. I did touch base with them briefly this week as well, and they are doing some legwork on their end. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That's kind of the big stuff from this week. Um, Kevin and I are working on some organizational tools just for keeping this information in order. I'll let Kevin speak more to that because he was kind of driving it. Um, and then lastly, just as like a side note, I keep getting added to Telegram groups referring to like token migrations, that is not a thing. So if you get added to a Telegram group that says, "Hey, we're now in Morpheus V4, go migrate your tokens using this link," it is a scam. So please don't do that. And that's all.
Cool. I appreciate the heads up on that. Yeah, always good to warn the community about potential attack factors. And I really like the pooled GPUs. Yeah, I've seen a lot of projects do that in the past, and it's good use of sort of spare capacity. And that does kind of fit like the model, right? Because a lot of these LLMs need a GPU in order to host them. So if you've already got a gaming rig, that might be an interesting pool of users that can contribute compute and get rewarded for it. So very cool. Let's see. Yeah, I see Kevin's on. So Kevin, why don't we jump into your update?
Hey everybody. Lot of momentum on the Morpheus Builders Accelerator. So an announcement went out on the Morpheus X account announcing applications are ready. I've had conversations just over the past couple weeks with like 10 additional builders. There's a lot of interest in kind of joining in with that program. Some of the use case categories, just for the community's awareness, uh, looking at like chat interfaces that just like enable users to access decentralized AI. There are a lot of teams interested in building um, interfaces like that are like special purpose interfaces. Maybe an expert in crypto finance or some other areas. That's like an interesting use case category. Second is like the financial layer. So the Morpheus Smart Agent, enabling your agent to have a wallet that has policies that can do things like manage portfolios or invest in tokens. There's a lot of interest from builders around that use case. And the other one that's really interesting that's popped up is in kind of where crypto and gaming intersect. So you can imagine like multiplayer games, like you know, uh, playing against Elon Musk and Diablo. Those games can benefit from Morpheus compute, and like NPCs, like non-player characters, can essentially be manifested as smart agents powered by Morpheus. So seeing a lot of really incredible entrepreneurs who want to build using Morpheus tooling. We've also had more conversations with dev tooling integrations. So there's been an explosion of dev tools for anyone who's looking to build agents out there. Coinbase developer platform. A lot of just so much work is going into making it easier and easier to build agents. So we've had a lot of calls with those projects to make it easier for builders to have the tooling they need to kind of quickly deploy and monitor the agents that they're working on. So that exciting momentum there. On the organizational stuff, we're working on revamping the Morpheus Accelerator website. We have some great developers with front end skills kind of helping to jump in on that. And then, as Bo mentioned, just working on some of the organizational improvement as the builder funnel for Morpheus starts to grow. We just need to get a little bit better at engaging, keeping all that information in one place. So I've been working with Bo, who's doing a similar thing on the integrations with Oracles, etc., to just kind of improve some of those organizational tools we're using.
Awesome. Well, Kevin, maybe one other thing to mention is coming up real soon is the largest AI conference of the year. And
Thank you.
I think
Yeah.
you mentioned you'll be up there at NERPS, the annual AI research conference. It looks like there's going to be a Morpheus and Bagel Network sort of happy hour on the 11th. I think it's from 5 to 8 p.m. So watch for the Luma that gets published today. But anybody's going to be in Vancouver and at the event, feel free to join us. Should be a lot of fun, and can be a lot of builders there. There's also some great Akash events that we'll be at. I think there's one on the 9th, 10th, and I saw another one on the 12th. So check out the Lumens if you're going to be in Canada for that. Come on out, and should be a lot of fun. But definitely worth highlighting.
Yeah, thanks for highlighting that, David. I'm very excited to get up to Vancouver and meet a lot of these AI builders. There are a lot of decentralized AI companies on the list of sponsors for NERPS this year. I think it'll be it seems like it could be kind of a watershed moment for like your traditional AI builders, and then with the crypto bull market, all of a sudden they're like, oh, we should kind of combine efforts here. I feel like this conference may be a kind of breaking point for that.
Yeah, 100%. It seems like AI builders are really waking up to all the things they can use in crypto, whether it's decentralized inference or access to open source models.
Yeah.
I mean, Morpheus, with its decentralized registry of models, is almost like a decentralized Hugging Face, right? Especially with the IPFS integration that Ryan and the crew at Lumerin are doing right now. It looks like that'll go live fairly soon, and then effectively you'll have all these most decentralized hosted models. So yeah, I think that's going to be really powerful for anybody. And like you said, between Agent Kit with Coinbase, and there's a GOAT framework and other things like that, where there's a ton of tools for now connecting agents to actual tokens and money and payments. It seems like it's really going mainstream. So cool. Well, Kyle, why don't you give us a quick update, man?
Cool. A couple things, but I will start going back to one of Luke's comments from earlier. Luke is absolutely right on. I have a laptop. I want to host a tiny llama model. Can I do that? And the feedback was, yes, you can technically do it, but no one's going to create sessions with you. And I just want to be clear that these are smart contracts in the system. No one on this call or no one anywhere can go and turn off a provider or block a provider from providing compute into the ecosystem, right? The only blockers that we have per se are the subnet requirements, and anyone can host anything in there right now. So although you can host it, doesn't mean that people will create sessions with you, and creating sessions are the driver for emissions to be paid. So whenever we think about what can I host, what should I host, it's all a supply and demand situation. What do people want? I should host the models that people want, so they create sessions with me so that I can generate rewards from it. So just wanted to kind of reiterate that with how important it is. As far as, I guess, what's happened the last week and what's coming, three really important things that are going on. One is the staking towards subnets. So development of updated smart contracts are in process so that users can stake towards provider subnets. And this is an interesting feature because it lets people put their Morpheus token to work, right? I want to contribute towards the subnet provider, and I want to get whatever percent earnings back from the rewards that they achieve. So we're getting through all the details now, but that's a really cool feature that's in the pipeline, and you guys will get some more information as that progresses. The second topic is all the integrations that have been done and are ongoing. So I think David may have mentioned last week that Hyperbolic was integrated through API functionality. So someone can go in and create a provider with their Hyperbolic API. Performance probably needs a little bit of optimization for someone to be able to do that as a subnet provider in the long term, but we've proven that works out of the box. Similarly, I'm in the process of testing Akash and other containerized solutions to figure out how we can get one-click launch for Morpheus as a consumer or provider via Akash, Google Cloud Services, Azure, AWS. Really, the list goes on, and the goal is one-click deployment. So we're getting closer to that, but not exactly there just yet, but getting closer. And then the third behemoth of a topic is confidential computing and trusted computing, and we recognize that as time goes on, consumers, or specifically consumers who are routing prompts from users, security is really what's important to them, and being able to ensure that both prompts are protected, models aren't tampered with, everything that goes along with confidential computing in those specific use cases. We recognize the value of it, and we're working to figure out how to get that integrated into the Morpheus compute node as well. And that's not for, I just want to be clear, that's not for everyone, right? If you want to use a super confidential setup, there's going to be a significant price premium associated with that. You don't need to drive the armored truck to pick up a sandwich for lunch, but maybe you do if you're going to the treasury.
Very cool. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and today maybe it's worth highlighting some of the technical requirements for confidential computing. It's really the H100 series is the first GPUs that have the built-in NVIDIA TEE, and that's effectively encryption at the chip level. And they publish a registry of public keys for all of the hardware, and so you can verify that that private compute is happening and encrypted correctly. So, but it's significantly more expensive hardware, significantly more expensive setup, and you really sort of have to, make a sort of encrypted connection between the provider, the compute subnet, and the developer using that confidential compute. So worth understanding, but it's exciting to see that it's rolling out, and I expect future GPUs will also incorporate it. So this is sort of just at the fresh, early adoption of this technology the last couple of years. So anyway, all good stuff. Thanks for your hard work on that,
and
Kyle.
David, just one more comment on that. The confidential computing has existed for a very long time in terms of the CPU. What you're mentioning is the extension to the GPU and how that relates to LLMs. They need to run on a GPU. So it's really this overall confidential computing situation is mixing one of the either AMD or Intel TDX confidential computing CPUs with the H100 with enabled confidential computing GPU, and really creating that full confidential system that is end-to-end encrypted between that communication. So really innovative stuff, and I agree. I think it'll expand to more GPUs as time goes on. Very
cool. Yeah, and I know there's other approaches, but that's a good, reliable one that can be used today. So and Morpheus is all about enabling privacy, which is obviously an important human right. So glad to get that enabled. Cool. Well, let's see. I think we've had everybody had a chance to give their update. Let's see. Any others probably worth covering? We covered Lumerin, the code updates. Just on the smart contract side, as Kyle highlighted, there's more dashboards coming that will make it easy to stake your more towards a compute subnet and earn part of those rewards. So my expectations is still probably a couple more weeks to get that all fleshed out and polished up, but excited to get that live. I think those are most of the updates. Again, if you are going to be in Vancouver, check out the Lumos for both the Morpheus and Akash events. Come on out, and really want to meet a lot of agent builders while we're there. There's also the launch of the decentralized AI co-working space in Austin this evening. So if you're in town, I think it's from like 5 to 7 p.m. But check out the Luma that Greg Asari from Akash posted back on, I think it was the 22nd. So yeah, check that out and come on out if you're in the area. But it's cool to see BitTensor, Manifold, which is a BitTensor subnet, Akash, Morpheus, all these groups come together to build one of the first DAI physical spaces for the community to build agents and all the rest. So yeah, just a ton of stuff going on. As with Morpheus, there's like literally something new every day. But yeah, appreciate you guys.
I'll add to that real quick.
Sure.
We got Blockchain Week in Puerto Rico as well next week. And I just talked to Michael Turpin yesterday. I'll be speaking there. We're going to do a fireside chat. I think Jeff McDonald's going to be involved in some events. Monday, there's some demo day stuff where I think Morpheus is going to be presented, possibly even like a whole hour of Morpheus stuff. So, and I even at I think the Limitless event as well, there's talk of a Morpheus event. So if you know anyone in Puerto Rico, or if you're coming to Puerto Rico next week for Blockchain Week, definitely keep an eye out for the different Morpheus community there. It's going to be well represented.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. And maybe one more to give a shout out to Ruckchuck, the maintainer for Smart Agents, just presented the Morpheus framework and all of the more agent repo stuff at a Meta open source Llama thing they did out on the West Coast. So, it's great to see, it reaching a bigger and bigger audience of developers and all the work they're doing to support open source. So yeah, cool. If anybody has any other announcements, pipe up. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up here. Cool. Well, with none being heard, thanks for jumping on, guys, and I'll see you all on Discord soon.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thanks.
appreciate it.